Hello everyone, my name is Mercy and welcome back to Mercy's Minecraft Adventure. We are going to be doing something kind of fancy here for episode number 10. We kind of haven't been paying very good attention to our storage over here, so I think it's time to go ahead and build a proper storage system. Let's go ahead and get right to it. Welcome back, guys. Thanks for joining me once again in episode 10. We're finally hitting the double digits. Awesome. I'm loving it. We are going to go ahead and finally take care of the storage room here today because all I've had is these chests and I got to manually drop everything in. It takes a bit of time and it's not as streamlined as I would like, but I've gathered up all of the materials that we are going to need to build a pretty nice and fancy sorting system over here, as designed once again by Mr. Tango Tech. We're going to be borrowing that design for us, but what I need to do to make sure it fits is actually punch out a little bit of the wall here, and I can get a little extra room. Here we go. Just knocking out a little bit of the wall, and I'm going to have to go up here to that level, if not a little bit higher. We will see. I got to remember the dimensions of it all, but we can knock all of this out here so we have plenty of room to work with. And we are going to need it because the footprint, while not terribly big, it is modular, and I am going to be building a couple of these to get it going. This is going to end up knocking out any chance we had of putting something in here, but honestly, that's okay. 100% okay with that. I'm going to repeat knocking this out over here, and we're going to start... Oh, hey, grass, what do you know? I'm going to go ahead and lay out the pattern work, because I also have to dig down into the floor just a little bit, so I have the room to work with down there. So let's go ahead and keep on digging. So I've got the basic layout now started here for you guys. We're going to have... It's a little confusing with all the extra chests, but ignore those. The original chests, they're all going to be gone, and we're going to resort all of that. It's going to be kind of fun to move it all over here temporarily, but not the point. The point is that the rows of chests are going to go here, here, and then, of course, those other four as well. And it's going to be modular, so everything is going to end up looking the same, like I said before, and these chests are going to stack 6 high. Now, I'm not going to put the chests in just yet. That's a step later on that I want to do. I want to make it easy so I can just jump over and move around if I need to, but as you guys can see, I've gone and added some stairs down just so that way I can reach that without having to do a whole lot of extra work, and I'm happy about that. Now, I did notice here that I've got the 2 instead of just the 1 in between, and looks like I built the castle slightly wrong. It seems I put a 4 instead of the 5 that I originally was anticipating, but that's okay. It's just a 2 wide instead of 1 wide, and then a little bit more compact from the left and right sides. But this is where all of the storage is going to end up going and where it's going to end up sitting. So now it's just a matter of getting it going, and the redstone is honestly going to be the first part. Now this is going to extend out, so I am going to have to go and add on another little section behind this wall, that wall, and this wall that I've already knocked out here. I'm thinking just a tiny little slope down kind of deal will end up being able to be good. It's just got to house the redstone, that's all. So, yeah, I'll end up grabbing some nether brick and covering that up later. But for now, getting the storage system actually in is the important part. Oh, got the footprints cut out. Probably going to need a little bit more up above, but this is where all the redstone is going to go. Oh, I missed one. Huh, I am slacking. But yeah, I'll show this to you guys real fast. This is the area that all of the redstone is going to end up going into down here. It's not terribly big, which is nice. I want to make this look nice. So I'll go ahead and pop that out, stone it up, and being very picky about how this looks, even though it's just the redstone. I'm not going to end up going back down and seeing it, but you know, just keep it looking nice. That's my philosophy on that one. And boom. Okay, so I'm not sure if I'm going to need to dig any more into these walls here, if I'm going to need to extend it out any, so I'm leaving this until later when I know whether or not I need to knock it out. And if I do, then I will. I'll make it look like stone. It'll be good. But for now, I need to pop back up, grab the redstone supplies, and start going through and building everything that I can that comes with it. Ender pearls. Alright, so a bunch of hoppers are now down here. You can see there's a little bit of a line going and starting in some of the areas here. It's plenty of hoppers. The problem is now going to be the fact that I've got to get the chests in, which means that because the chests have to go in, I'm going to have to go ahead and knock out some of the walls now to clear up that space. So these chests, with everything that I've stored so far, has got to go. I've still got my boxes back here, and I don't have a whole lot of space of everything that I'm already working with, so let's go ahead and try to work with this here. But I'm going to get all those things into some shulker boxes that I do already have. That way, hopefully, I can keep a bunch of things off on the side without worrying too much about the things. And we're going to get the rest of the chests in and continue on. I'll see you guys when I knock it around and get the chests in. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have chests. Lots of them. Now then, let's get some of the behind-the-scenes stuff going. There we go. It is all finished, put in, looking pretty nice. Starting out here now with the sorting of the items, setting up where things are going to go, and just kind of putting them in, see what I can do. Not sure how all I'm going to do it. I'm going to kind of stay to the classic Minecraft view. I'm going to keep the basic blocks here, stone, dirt, and that kind of thing, and then continue as I go along based on ID, I guess. But we've got ourselves the input chest right over here. I'm going to have a sign up here just to keep me reminded. Then we've got a midway input here, so if it's nothing that's supposed to go in here, I could save time on the sorting of the system and actually dump it in right here. I got the same thing here, and the reason this is this way is just because, well, it was too wide, so I figured why not. A third one here for the final section, which is going to be a lot of the valuables. I think I'm going to end up switching over into this section here, so I can use that quite often. And then anything that doesn't fit anywhere in the system gets thrown out here into the overflow chest, and that's where that stays. So now I've got all these shulkers that I'm going through, sorting the items out, draw them in, and now I need to go and get some more item frames as well so I can label these things, but we're looking pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and keep sorting. I gotta say, we're starting to get there for sure. I'm starting to add everything lining up, but I've got a lot of storage left to go. I don't know what I'm going to put in everything. Looking good. We've got pretty much everything decided as to where it's generally going to end up going. There's a couple spots I still need to fill in with the finishing of the items, such as the wool here. I don't really have a whole lot there, but we are looking organized and everything is going to be pretty fancy. I'm really enjoying this. But now it's made me realize, I should say, that the other side is a bit underdeveloped as well. We said we were going to set up a nice big smithy here, and all I've done is put up a couple lines of furnaces. This is not a smithy by any means. I need to get some decoration going, but more importantly, I think we need to build ourselves a bit of a, stop growling, a bit of a super smelter. We get that going, and we are going to be, I said stop it. This guy back here is rude. interrupted my talking. We need to go ahead and get ourselves a proper bulk smelting system going, because there's a lot of netherrack to make into nether bricks, which I'm using on the roof. There's going to be plenty of glass at some point. I'm perfectly sure of that one. We need a lot of smelting power. So I'm going to figure out a design to see if I can go ahead and get that process going and working. And I'll see if I can walk through making this with you guys as well. I'm going to try to invent a design. I'm not really going to try to go and go kind of crazy on this. So I might do this in a creative and show you guys from a creative. Okay, so we're here in a creative world. This is where I do a little bit of my redstone testing. I've got the AFK fish farm, as you guys see over here. Pretty standard. That's what we've built twice already in the series, so it's nice and fluid. That's where we built it, so I made sure I knew I was doing it right. This here is something that I am going to implement soon, so I won't show that off just yet, but that's for melons and pumpkins. But we are here to go ahead and get ourselves a proper system set up for smelting. Now, what I would like to do is set up a system here to get as many furnaces going as possible. And I recall a problem with this design that I'm going to try to recreate here, where it ends up working for 6, but after 6 it ends up having a skipping problem and doesn't quite line up. So what I'm going to do, instead of setting that up like that and trying to go for the 8 like I originally wanted, is I'll just set it up for 6. Honestly, having it so that it'll be 6 like that, and then a 6 like this, and then another 6 over in that regard. Let's drop that back like that. Having this inside of my smeltery is going to look pretty awesome. It's not going to be too deep overall. It's going to have an entire line of furnaces to work with, and it's just now a matter of trying to recreate this design that I remember seeing a while ago. Let's see if I can do it here on camera for you guys. So let's build up first and foremost. I want it off the ground so I don't have to punch through the sandstone just yet. On the actual single-player game world, I'm not going to worry about punching through the floor just a little bit, unless it looks better to raise it. We'll definitely take a look, see if it looks better to just simply raise it up. But what we've got now is the system here that I'm going to end up building in the end. 6, 6, 6. I can space it out a little differently as we go. The important thing is going to be over here. So for now, I actually don't need these, because if it's all going to be the same, then it's just a matter of connecting and moving through. Let's see how I can figure that out. So in my inventory, I've got a couple different things. Since I've got the furnaces now, I can drop that up there. Just move all of these individual pieces down here. All right. So we've got ourselves a chest for obvious reasons. If it's going to be coming out here, it's going to need a place to go, as well as a place for me to put in items. But we've got the redstone torches, repeaters, hoppers, because that's the best way to go, some kind of a building block, which I'll go ahead and move that over there, a comparator, and of course redstone dust. So this orange wool is just because it was there, I grabbed it. It's not that big of a deal. First things first, we are going to need to get a hopper line going on the top here. We need to have hoppers putting items into the top. This is what is being smelted when it goes into the top. We're also later on going to need hoppers going into the back. That way we can get the fuel going into it there. So now that we've got that in, this is the end result of what pulls out and how it works. I think the design does involve a little bit of redstone. So let's see here. If we set a line like this, and some redstone along these. Whenever we power this redstone, it should lock those hoppers, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, because it's right there next to it. It should end up locking those hoppers. So let's go ahead and give this a whirl. If I knock that there, and I power this line of redstone, and I were to put something into the hoppers, which, you know, this is the smeltable, so let's go ahead and drop sand in. As you guys can see, it's not being pulled in, it's sitting there. But if I knock that one bit of redstone away, it starts to pull the sand in. So we are looking good. That locks the hoppers, and now that we know that it locks the hoppers, we just have to set a way to power it, depower it, and move along. Okay. So now that I've got that, I also want to try to distribute items as evenly as possible, and I want it to go in, because it's around this corner, I want it to go from this side and push forward. So let's set this here. Let's get a block right there, and a row of hoppers along the top. Now, if the bottom hoppers, are powered, then they lock and the items will be able to just flow through appropriately down here and not end up getting sucked through the bottom. It'll help with the distribution to kind of move all the items through. Now it's a matter of knowing when to send the signal out to say, hey, we're powered, it's good. And we're going to do that with a comparator. I'm going to set a comparator here. So it takes a signal from this, sends that signal into a block. I don't want it subtract mode, I want it like that. And when it sends it through, that will end up triggering this redstone torch, turning it off. Now from that torch, if we put the repeater here, as you can see, it powers it. So let's, this will turn it from the powered state, which locks it, so nothing comes down through these into it just yet, and instead helps push the items through up to the end here with the comparator. And that'll trigger it and cause the items then to sink down one at a time, all at the same time, into the furnace. Cool. Alright, so let's actually just go ahead and do the same thing there. Let's repeat that process back over here. Okay, so we got it on the back now too. This is going to be the control for the fuel source. So let's go ahead and set a chest there and a chest there. This is the smeltable, what to smelt. This is the smelting fuel. And now that that's going, it's just a matter of pulling the items out into a chest of sorts. So let's raise up like that. There we go. That should set up to take all the items out and drop them right into the chest as they get smelted. Because the bottom finishes and takes the items once they are smelted and pulls it out and away. This should do it. It's a very straightforward system. It's not a lot of complication. Let's go ahead and see if this will work. This is going to be the smeltable items here. So I'll drop a whole bunch of sand in like that. And we want the coal, and I'll drop a whole bunch of coal in like that. So now we should see all of the furnaces just came on at the same time. That was really cool to watch. We've got a good amount of sand in there just because that's what I had before. I put sand in first, so it distributed it first. And you can see the sand is definitely ahead of the coal, but that is perfectly fine. Now, coal is being distributed in at the same rate as the sand, so I might want to look into how I can slow that down, but for now, this is definitely going to work. It's a very simple system, very straightforward ability to get this done. Let's see if I can link a couple of these together with a hopper chain, where then, well, No, you know what? I am going to leave it as 3 individual things. And the reason I should is this does 6. As long as I put 6 items in on both the fuel and the smelting, it will get to smelting. If I were to go ahead and, say, put in 4 at this point for the smelting items, it doesn't reach here. It shouldn't end up finishing. And because of that, I actually want to test that right here on camera, see what I can do, because it should not end up working if it has only a couple items. So let me clear this out and we'll give that a test. Alright, it's cleared out. There's nothing currently going on in the system. Let's make the time day so we can see nice and clear. Now this once again is going to be our fuel, and I have not been having any problem when it comes to smelting fuel, so I'm just going to go ahead and drop a stack of coal in there. Now I do have this situation here with 5 sand. If I only drop 5 in, let's see what happens. It looks like it triggered. 4. Did I get a double sand placement? It looks like I didn't get a double sand placement. Where did that last sand go? It's quite possibly stuck in one of those hoppers back there, which would mean that it would get sent through with the next tick. And it's probably that hopper right there underneath that comparator. So there's only one way to really know for sure. But from the looks of things, it should still be okay, but I lose a little bit of the overall efficiency. I'll stick with 6. I think that'll be safe, and this is very easy to go ahead and recreate. So let's pop on back over to the server, the single player server, and try to get this created. It always amazes me just how much iron this thing actually pumps out, and I've been grabbing quite a bit when it comes to hoppers, so I am very happy with this. Let's go ahead and make up the hoppers that I'm going to need to finish this. There we go. And drop the rest back in over here. We do have the iron over in the storage, but that there's a good bulk storage where it just comes from. I do bring it over whenever I need it, and I work on it. But now, we should have enough to go ahead and get ourselves going on the smelter. There we go. I definitely like the looks of this starting up. I'm going to have to go ahead and cap off here to close off that back section. Make sure it's all lit up back there too. I don't want some random zombies or skeletons or even worse creepers spawning in there. But we've got our 2B smelted dropped in there, and we've got our fuel dropped in there, and we should see all 6 of these pop on at the same time in just a moment. Unless I drop something into a hopper I wasn't supposed to. Did I mess it up? I messed it up. There we go. I've gone and fixed it. It was these blocks here. I was like, yeah, stairs. That'll look great. And it's not going to mess with it. Nope, totally messed with it. It needed to be a solid block underneath the redstone so that way it could power the hoppers and keep them locked. I wasn't thinking, and that is entirely my fault. But it is now up and running. Drop the sand, drop the coal, and we'll see all of these pop on at the same time. Ta-da! So now we've got a proper smelter going on. 6 long. I'm happy with that. I'm definitely okay with that working the way it is. But now, what I've got to do builds past that, and, you know, to be honest with you, I think I'm just gonna leave it at 6. I don't do a whole lot of smelting like I honestly should, and I'm over here AFK almost all the time anyway, so I think I'll leave it at 6. We'll go ahead and decorate this just a tiny bit more, make it look nice as I can. A little bit of stone brick back there and here to make that kind of flush with the wall. And leave that open above because I need to. A couple more over here should do the trick. Now it's nice and balanced. I can put a chest over there just for the sake of appearance, but it's not actually going to do any good. It's not going to do anything. I'm just putting it there for the sake of appearance, I guess. And then I can get up there using some stairs. And no. There. That's what I wanted. Okay. Just to balance it out. They're not actually going to serve a whole lot of purpose, and I'm going to bring this section up here to the ceiling as well once I go grab some more stone bricks. But yeah, super smelter. And it is smelting away, and just to show you guys, we got plenty in just that short amount of time. We let it go on, and this thing is going to be pumping out everything that we need to smelt, which is awesome. Alright. Let's go ahead and grab some more stone bricks, and I'll finish that up. Well, guys, that is going to do it for me today. I do hope you enjoyed this slightly longer episode. We got a lot of the finer technical stuff done. We've got the super smelter here. We've got the full storage and sorting system across the way going on. I do have a little bit of tidying up to do to cover up that redstone over there in that storage system, but I'll do that off camera or on the live stream, one or the other. Something pretty simple and straightforward. But guys, thanks again for joining me. This has been a wonderful episode. I am so glad to be in double digits right now, and I really appreciate everything you guys have done for joining me over here and making sure to tune in and just see what we're doing. That is going to do it all for me today, though. I do hope you liked what you've seen. If you did, make sure to leave a like on the video. If you really enjoyed, make sure to go ahead and subscribe and tell your friends as well. Share that video, let other folks see what's going on. I look forward to your comments in the comment section down below, and that will do it for me today. My name is Mercy, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.